And by Allah, I'll surely plan something against your idols. بَعْدَ أَن تُوَلَّوْا مُدْبِرِينَ, as soon as you've turned and gone away. فَجَعَلَهُمْ جُذَاذًا إِلَّا كَبِيرًا لَهُمْ. So He reduced them to fragments, leaving the biggest of them. So they go into this little carnival of theirs, their star worshipping carnival, or whatever festival that they had, and Ibrahim alayhi salam is left alone in their temple with their gods. And so he breaks all of them and leaves one intact. لَعَلَّهُمْ إِلَيْهِ يَرْجِعُونَ, so that they may return to it. قَالُوا, they said, مَنْ فَعَلَ هَذَا بِآلِهَتِنَا, who has done all of this to our gods? إِنَّهُ لَمِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ, he is definitely unjust. قَالُوا سَمِعْنَا فَتًى يَذْكُرُهُمْ يُقَالُ لَهُ إِبْرَاهِيمُ, they said, we heard a young man mention them. They call him Ibrahim. So he's not very popular. They don't know him. They didn't take his criticism seriously. They didn't take anything of what he was talking about seriously. But now that he's done what he's done, now they have to take him seriously. And so they call him. قَالُوا فَأْتُوا بِهِ عَلَىٰ أَعْيُنِ النَّاسِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَشْهَدُونَ, they said, bring him before the public so that they can see. قَالُوا, they said, أَنْتَ فَعَلْتَ هَذَا بِآلِهَتِنَا يَا إِبْرَاهِيمُ, was it you? You did this to all of our gods, Ibrahim? قَالَ بَلْ فَعَلَهُ كَبِيرُهُمْ هَذَا, he said, no, but this is the biggest of them. He appears to have done all of this. It is him. He has the axe in his hand. He's intact. The rest of them are gone. All the circumstantial evidence points against him. فَاسْأَلُوهُمْ إِنْ كَانُوا يَنْطِقُونَ, why don't you ask them if they can speak? فَرَجَعُوا إِلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ, and they thought within themselves. فَقَالُوا, and said, إِنَّكُمْ أَنْتُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ, for sure you yourselves are unjust. So they recognized when he made this statement, all he is doing is he is carrying their claim to their logical extent. Whatever you're claiming, let's just take it a couple of steps forward from where you take it. See what comes out. And what comes out is your own recognition that what you're saying is, it doesn't make sense. ثُمَّ نُكِسُوا عَلَى رُؤُوسِهِمْ, lowering their heads. Then they said, لَقَدْ عَلِمْتَ مَا هَؤُلَاءِ يَنْطِقُونَ, you know very well that these gods don't speak. قال, Ibrahim responded, فَتَعْبُدُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ, would you then worship besides Allah مَا لَا يَنْفَعُكُمْ شَيْئًا وَلَا يَضُرُّكُمْ, which can neither benefit you nor harm you, but at all. أُفِّلْ لَكُمْ وَلِمَ تَعْبُدُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ, damn you, as well as those you worship besides Allah. أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ, don't you think? Don't you have an intellect? Don't you use it? قَالُوا حَرِّقُوهُ وَانْصُرُوا آلِهَتَكُمْ, they said, burn him and help your gods. So there is a religious sense that has been invigorated against Ibrahim alayhi salam. إِن كُنْتُمْ فَاعِلِينَ, if you really are going to do something. قُلْنَا يَا نَارُ كُونِي بَرْدًا وَسَلَامًا عَلَىٰ إِبْرَاهِيمَ, we said to the fire, chill out, be cool and peaceful for Ibrahim alayhi salam. وَأَرَادُوا بِهِ كَيْدًا, and they plotted against him. They thought they would break him, that they would show him the fire and he would back off and say, oh, no, you're right. But no. He persevered, he persisted. And typically the fire should burn. The fire should have killed. That's what fire does. But the world needs Ibrahim. Humanity needs Ibrahim. The legacy that he is on, that he is establishing, it has to prevail. Otherwise, everything gets burnt. And so this one time, the fire is not allowed to burn. وَأَرَادُوا بِهِ كَيْدًا فَجَعَلْنَاهُمُ الْأَخْسَرِينَ, but we made them the greatest losers. وَنَجَّيْنَاهُ وَلُوطًا إِلَى الْأَرْضِ الَّتِي بَارَكْنَا فِيهَا لِلْعَالَمِينَ, we rescued him and his nephew Lut to the land which we had made full of blessings for all people. Now Ibrahim alayhi salam did what he did. And of the greatest to follow the legacy of Ibrahim alayhi salam is Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. But the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam spent 13 years in Mecca. And then another 6 until the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. Another year and a half until the conquest of Mecca. And then another year until Hajj the following year. And he did not break the idols that were inside the Kaaba. So it is not meant to literally follow, step by step, exactly what your predecessors and your role models did. You have to look at the context for what it entails, what it demands. The methodology demanded of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in accordance with what he was supposed to do was much different. And so not only did he tolerate the idols all through his time in Mecca, he tolerated them even after the conquest of Mecca. Until finally the Hajj happened and Surah Tawbah was revealed and all treaties stood nullified. And when the treaties were nullified, then the idols were removed. One of his reasons for not leading the Hajj and making Abu Bakr lead the Hajj was because there was idols in the Kaaba at that time. So the idols were not removed, they were tolerated, for the people were given time. And so the methodology changes in accordance with the situation that you're in. And that situation has to be read. And the role model is supposed to be emulated with respect to how it fits the situation. You can't put a square peg in a round hole. It'll backfire. فَجَعَلْنَاهُمُ الْأَخْسَرِينَ. So we saved him and Lut to a land full of blessing, which is the Holy Land, Jerusalem. وَوَهَبْنَا لَهُ إِسْحَاقَ. And we gifted him with Ishaq, وَيَعْقُوبَ نَافِلَةً. And Ya'qub in addition, as his grandson. وَكُلًّا جَعَلْنَا صَالِحِينَ. And we made each of them righteous. Note that the attributes used for the prophets aren't their prophetic attributes. They are their attributes that are open for human beings to benefit from, to emulate, to follow in the footsteps of. So there's the theologian that Ibrahim alayhi salam was, identifying the idols of his time and ensuring that people recognize the shortcomings of those idols, showing them for the logical fallacy of what those idols are. That's necessary in this day and age. But that's not the only necessity. That's not what Yaqub did. That's not what Ishaq did. They followed in the legacy of Ibrahim alayhi salam, maintained and built upon what he had already done. So there is that the consolidation efforts are also necessary. The theological revolution that took place with Ibrahim, then the consolidation that took place with his people. وَجَعَلْنَاهُمْ أَئِمَّةً يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا. And we made them leaders, guiding by our amr, the amr of Allah. وَأَوْحَيْنَا, the purpose of Allah, the purposeful command and directive of Allah. وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْهِمْ فِعْلَ الْخَيْرَاتِ. We revealed to them righteous actions. وَإِقَامَ الصَّلَاةِ وَإِيتَاءَ الزَّكَاةِ, to establish prayer and to pay zakah. وَكَانُوا لَنَا عَابِدِينَ. And they were exclusively dedicated in ibadah to us. وَلُوطًا آتَيْنَاهُ حُكْمًا وَعِلْمًا. And we gave wisdom and knowledge to Lut. وَنَجَّيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْقَرْيَةِ الَّتِي كَانَتْ تَعْمَلُ الْخَبَائِثِ. And we saved him from the community which indulged in wickedness. إِنَّهُمْ كَانُوا قَوْمَ السَّوْءٍ فَاسِقِينَ. They were an evil people, defiantly disobedient. وَأَدْخَلْنَاهُ فِي رَحْمَتِنَا. And we admitted him to our mercy. The manifestation of Tawheed, Ibadah, Taqwa, Islam that Lut did in front of his people was very different. It was more on lines of a social reform than a simple theological reform. That was part of his responsibility. And so he manifested that responsibility. إِنَّهُ مِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ. He too was of the righteous ones. That within this category of Salihin, there is such a wide variety and diversity of efforts that are necessary. وَنُوحًا إِذْ نَادَى مِنْ قَبْلِ. And Nuh, when he called before, فَاسْتَجَبْنَا لَهُ, we responded to his call. So Nuh is the original da'i, the first Rasul of Allah, his perseverance of what he did for the time that he was sent to his people. His people didn't respond to his call. Allah says we responded to his call. He made dua to us. We responded to him. فَنَجَّيْنَاهُ وَأَهْلَهُ مِنَ الْكَرْبِ الْعَظِيمِ. And so we saved him and his household from the great affliction. وَنَصَرْنَاهُ مِنَ الْقَوْمِ الَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا. And we helped him against the people who denied our ayat. إِنَّهُمْ كَانُوا قَوْمَ السَّوْءٍ. And they were an evil people. فَأَغْرَقْنَاهُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ. So we drowned them, all of them. وَدَاوُدَ وَسُلَيْمَانَ إِذْ يَحْكُمَانِ فِي الْحَرْثِ. And Dawood and Sulaiman, we helped them as well when they judged concerning the crop. So now comes a very different category of the prophets of Allah. Those already in authority, those blessed with position, power, and how that was directed towards the benefit of mankind, towards the tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إِذْ نَفَشَتْ فِيهِ غَنَمُ الْقَوْمِ. When the sheep of a certain people pastured through it at night. So one people owned land, the other people owned sheep. The sheep of the people ate up all the crop of the people of the land. وَكُنَّا لِحُكْمِهِمْ شَاهِدِينَ. And we witnessed their judgment. فَفَهَّمْنَاهَا سُلَيْمَانَ. So we gave Sulaiman alayhi salam insight into the case as to what the solution was, how he was supposed to judge between the people. وَكُلًّا آتَيْنَا حُكْمًا وَعِلْمًا, and we gave each one wisdom and knowledge. وَسَخَّرْنَا مَعَ دَاوُدَ الْجِبَالَ وَيُسَبِّحْنَا بِالطَّيْرِ, and we subjected the mountains and the birds to him along with Dawood. Where Sulaiman alayhi salam is involved with the people and looking to establish justice as best as possible, as much as he can, getting people on the right understanding, as was manifested. Dawood alayhi salam's personality, his personal inclination, was more to the dhikr, was more to the remembrance, was more to the hymning of the praise of Allah. As we will see later on, that there was a rectification required with both of them. In Surah Sad, we will see that Dawood alayhi salam was required to be a little more people person, a little more social, a little more focused on social responsibilities. And Sulaiman alayhi salam was directed towards becoming a little more spiritual, balancing in that dimension as well. But both their personalities accommodated, respected, honored. وَسَخَّرْنَا مَعَ دَاوُدَ الْجِبَالَ يُسَبِّحْنَا وَالطَّيْرِ وَكُنَّا فَاعِلِينَ, and we were doing all of that. وَعَلَّمْنَاهُ صَنْعَةَ لَبُوسٍ لَكُمْ, and we taught Dawood the art of making coats of armor. So creative contributions, innovative contributions being made for the benefit of humanity as well. That too being part of the amal salih, the diversity that is incorporated within the good works that can possibly be done. لِتُحْصِنَكُم مِّن بَأْسِكُم, to protect you in your wars. فَهَلْ أَنْتُمْ شَاكِرُونَ, so will you then be grateful? وَلِسُلَيْمَانَ الرِّيحَ عَاصِفَةً, for Sulaiman the violent winds, تَجْرِي بِأَمْرِهِ, proceeding with his amr, to fulfill his purposes, his commands. إِلَى الْأَرْضِ الَّتِي بَارَكْنَا فِيهَا, to the land with which we filled with blessing. وَكُنَّا بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَالِمِينَ, and we were always aware of everything. وَمِنَ الشَّيَاطِينَ, and some of the shayateen, the jinns, subjected to him. مَن يَغُوصُونَ لَهُ, who dived for him. وَيَعْمَلُونَ عَمَلًا دُونَ ذَلِكَ, and also performed many other duties for him. وَكُنَّا لَهُمْ حَافِظِينَ, and we kept guard over them. وَأَيُّوبَ, so immediately jumping to the other end of the spectrum, Sulaiman, Dawood, authority, resources at their disposal, unlike any other, unlike anyone else. But that's not how all of us are going to be, at least not all the time. So there will be those who have completely nowhere to go, nothing to offer, incapacitated, handicapped for one reason or the other, physically, psychologically, resources wise, whatever the case may be. But that doesn't mean that Tawheed exhausts itself on us, that there is nothing of Tawheed, nothing of Ibadah, nothing of Taqwa that we can manifest. We get the example of Ayyub alayhi salam. We helped him as well, Allah said. إِذْ نَادَى رَبَّهُ أَنِّي مَسَّنِيَ الضُّرُّ, when he called on his Rabb and said, adversity has afflicted me. وَأَنْتَ أَرْحَمُ الرَّاحِمِينَ, and you are the most merciful of those who show mercy. That his attitude, his resilience, his heroism was in not giving up, was in standing strong, even though there's nothing that he could do. And all doors were closed with respect to freedom except one door, and that was the attitude with which he carried himself, not giving up and holding on to the dhikr of Allah and remembrance of Allah. That's all he could have done, and that's all he did do. فَاسْتَجَبْنَا لَهُ فَكَشَفْنَا مَا بِهِ مِن ضُرٍّ, so we responded to his prayers eventually and relieved him of all the pain that he was going through. وَآتَيْنَاهُ أَهْلَهُ, and we gave him his family. وَمِثْلَهُمْ مَعَهُمْ, and blessed him with another family similar to it. رَحْمَةً مِنْ عِنْدِنَا, as a mercy from us. وَذِكْرَى لِلْعَابِدِينَ, and a reminder for the abideen. Again, salihin, a reminder not for prophets, not for rusul, not for anbiya, but for abideen, that these are doors open to you, not closed. We can't be anbiya, we can't be rusul. Those doors are closed. We're not going to get wahi the way the prophets got wahi, or it's going to be very different for us. But what dimension of them is represented to us? That which can be emulated, the doors which you can walk through. وَإِسْمَاعِيلَ وَإِدْرِيسَ وَذَا الْكِفْلِ, and we blessed Ismail, Idris, and Dhal Kifl. Kullu min as-sabirin, each one of them patiently perseverant, consistent with respect to their action. Who is Dhul Kifl? Multiple opinions as to who he may have been. But one thing that seems to be for sure is that he was not in the land of the Arabs, that he wasn't one that the Arabs would have been familiar with, that he wasn't one that they would be able to relate with. So as far as the immediate addressees are concerned, any detail for them would be superfluous, wouldn't have been something that they would be able to get immediate benefit from. But he is still mentioned. He is still listed as honored people of Allah, as blessed people of Allah, no less than a lot of other prophets. And so that points in the direction that the fact that he is listed as a role model, it is upon the people of the Qur'an to now go and find out as to who he possibly may be, and to learn from his example. And so one particular interpretation or reading is that this is Manazil Hasan Gilani rahimahullah. He suggested that this may be Gautam Buddha, that this may be him being referred to. And if that is true, and it requires further reading and research to identify if it is, then that holds a lot of importance, since the world that we're living in, it is very heavily influenced by Eastern mysticism, by Buddhism. And so if there are, if we can trace the roots of that to Dhul Kifl and identify the way the Qur'an serves as an affirmer of the previous scriptures, a critic of the previous scriptures, and invites the people of the previous scripture on common ground, then that is how we may be able to relate with the people of Buddhism as well, and benefit from their tradition, contribute to their tradition, help safeguard that tradition, and purify from that tradition whatever has entered in. Kullu min as-sabirin, each one of them of sabr. وَأَدْخَلْنَاهُمْ فِي رَحْمَتِنَا, and we entered them in our mercy. إِنَّهُمْ مِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ, all of them too were from the righteous people. وَذَنُّونَ, and likewise we blessed the person of the fish. إِذْ ذَهَبَ مُغَاضِبًا, Yunus alayhi salam, when he went off in anger. فَظَنَّا لَن نَقْدِرَ عَلَيْهِ, and he thought that we would not be able to take him to task for this. He thought that he wouldn't be called to account for this. Rasul cannot leave without the permission of Allah. The responsibility that he has been given has to be fulfilled. فَنَادَى فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ, so he cried out from the depths of the darkness, and as dark as it gets in the belly of the whale, Allah ilaha illa ant, saying there is no ilah except you. Subhanak, exalted are you. That the recognition that Yunus alayhi salam is putting forward, that what I did wasn't in line with my tawheed, or the tawheed that is expected of me. And Allah is far exalted beyond that. And I wasn't able to give him credit for that. I wasn't able to acknowledge him for that. And so now that is being recognized. Inni kuntu min adh-dhalimin. It was me. I was of the wrongdoers. So what Yunus alayhi salam is teaching us, we saw the previous prophets achieving meaning through creativity, achieving meaning through contribution, through experiencing what dhikr has to offer, what hymning the praise of Allah has to offer, what social justice has to offer, what meaning in terms of realizing a positive attitude in the face of adversity, when there's nothing you can practically do except remain positive in terms of attitude. We saw that. Here we see meaning being realized in guilt, in terms of how guilt is responded to. You will make mistakes, and within those mistakes, are you able to recognize them and grow? And while we're on that subject, this may come again as well, there is a general istighfar that we do, just generically saying, Allah forgive us, turn to us, accept us, and that's okay. But if that's all there is to our istighfar, if that's all there is to our tawbah, and we are not man enough to acknowledge what mistakes we're asking istighfar for, then that's cowardice. That's hiding behind that istighfar. And that istighfar is not going to contribute towards self-correction and self-improvement, but it may contribute towards arrogance. I haven't even done anything wrong and I'm still doing istighfar. How awesome am I? No. We have to be able to identify what is it that we're doing istighfar for, so we can change it. Otherwise, it's just random. Inni kuntu min al-zalimin. فَاسْتَجَبْنَا لَهُ وَنَجَّيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْغَمِّ. So we responded to his call and delivered him from the anguish. كَذَلِكَ نُنْجِي الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. That is how we deliver the people of Iman. Mistakes here and there, no problem. Completely understandable. Depends on how you respond to them. Depends on how you carry yourself after them. وَزَكَرِيَّا إِذْ نَادَى رَبَّهُ. And we blessed Zakaria. He also called on his Rabb, saying, رَبِّ لَا تَذَرْنِي فَرْدًا. My Rabb, don't leave me issueless, without a child, alone. وَأَنْتَ خَيْرُ الْوَارِثِينَ. You're the best of inheritors. فَاسْتَجَبْنَا لَهُ. So we accepted his prayer. وَوَهَبْنَا لَهُ يَحْيَى. We blessed him with Yahya. وَأَصْلَحْنَا لَهُ زَوْجَهُ. And we cured his wife for him, to bear a child for him. إِنَّهُمْ كَانُوا يُسَارِعُونَ فِي الْخَيْرَاتِ. And these were people who competed with one another in virtues, trying to do more and more good. وَيَدْعُونَنَا رَغَبًا وَرَهَبًا. And they used to invoke us out of love and fear. So their spiritual dimension and their social dimension, trying to do more and more good socially in the world that they've been sent to, and then turning to Allah in balancing fear and hope. وَكَانُوا لَنَا خَاشِعِينَ. And they will all humble before us. وَالَّتِي أَحْصَنَتْ فَرْجَهَا. The one who maintained her chastity, Maryam salamun alayha. She serves as a role model as well. فَنَفَخْنَا فِيهَا مِنْ رُوحِنَا. So we breathed into her from our command. وَجَعَلْنَاهَا وَابْنَهَا آيَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. And we made her and her son as an ayah for the whole world, for all people of all nations. إِنَّ هَذِهِ أُمَّتُكُمْ أُمَّةً وَاحِدَةً. This is your ummah, the one ummah. And so the Messenger ﷺ used to say that don't give me precedence, don't give me preference, even over Yunus ibn Matta. That even the one who is predominantly mentioned in the Qur'an in the context of how he made a mistake before Allah. The Messenger ﷺ says, don't give me precedence over them. Do not make this a competition between prophets. Who is better? Who is higher? Who is more blessed? My prophet or your prophet? What are you doing? This is one ummah, one community. Allah appreciates this diversity. Why are you creating breaches and cults out of this diversity? Again, a community respects diversity. A community respects uniqueness, encourages it. And that's how communities grow. A cult doesn't. In a cult, you have to conform to a particular pattern. And if you're not conforming to that pattern, if you don't have certain abilities, for example, the leader of a particular organization or institution is a speaker, is eloquent, is knowledgeable, is scholarly. Now the standard is set within that organization or institution that all that is good is that which is closest to this role model. The better speaker someone is, the more eloquent someone is, the more intelligent someone is, the more etc., etc., etc. And everything else is of an inferior quality. It is not recognized for what it has to offer in terms of the growth of that institution. That's not a community, that's a cult. That institution has become a cult. And so people are suffering within that institution for not being as good as others, as eloquent, as intelligent, as qualified, etc., etc., etc. And absolutely subjugated to an inferior position simply because that person can't do anything else but, say, clean up after everyone is done. And that is not respected in a cult. That is looked down upon in a cult. Those people are replaceable. That you don't do it, we'll find another cleaner or sweeper or whatever. And that's the cultish mentality that has permeated who we are as a people, unfortunately, as a society, where we have these fixed categories. Who's the best? Who's the worst? And how does that make us any different from the Hindu society for what they were criticized for? There's untouchables. That's precisely what Salah is supposed to do. That you stand shoulder to shoulder, whom you would otherwise consider untouchable. And don't let shayateen be between your rows. Because if you're not willing to stand close with someone who's not as high up as you are, spiritually, financially, socially, whatever. If you're not willing to stand shoulder to shoulder as equals, then there is something wrong. Then shayateen have already entered in your sufuf. Whether you are very close to each other or not, whether there's no gap, not even a centimeter, you're like rubbing toes and heels as if you're going to spark fire or something. You're doing all of that. But shayateen have entered if you consider others lesser than you in an absolute fashion. Inna hadhihi ummatukum ummatan wahida. That is, this is your ummah, the one community. Wa ana rabbukum fa'budun. And I am your Rabb. So all of you enter into your ibadah to me. When, just one example, when the Americans were launching the spacecraft to land on the moon, the president visited NASA and asked a janitor, "What are you doing?" The janitor responded, "I'm helping put a man on the moon, Mr. President." So this recognition of a unification of a purpose, that even what I'm doing is contributing. And it should be more so than people who are united by a belief in the one Lord. They were united by a belief in putting the man on the moon. And that was strong enough to make them into a community. And if we don't have that, believing in Allah as our Rabb, before whom we are all equal, if we don't have that, then we need to check ourselves. Is it really Allah that we believe in? Or is my God some other God and his God some other God? Or he is lesser, his God is lesser, or he is lesser before that same God? That doesn't work. وَتَقَطَّعُوا أَمْرَهُمْ بَيْنَهُمْ. And what people have divided their affair, their religion, into sects, into different factions, between themselves. كُلٌّ إِلَيْنَا رَاجِعُونَ. All of them will be brought ultimately to us. فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِنَ الصَّالِحَاتِ. Whoever performs actions of good, وَهُوَ مُؤْمِنٌ, and he's a believer, فَلَا كُفْرَانَ لِسَعْيِهِ. There will be no rejection of his effort. وَإِنَّا لَهُ كَاتِبُونَ. And we will definitely be recording it. وَحَرَامٌ عَلَىٰ قَرْيَةٍ أَهْلَكْنَاهَا. And it is forbidden that a community which we destroyed, أَنَّهُمْ لَا يَرْجِعُونَ, that they will never come to rise again. حَتَّى إِذَا فُتِحَتْ يَأْجُوجُ وَمَأْجُوجُ. Till when Ya'juj and Ma'juj will be released. وَهُمْ مِنْ كُلِّ حَدَبٍ يَنْسِلُونَ. And they will descend from every elevation. A word on this. Necessarily they're mentioned in the Qur'an, and so looking into them, trying to find out what this means, what lessons we can garner, makes sense. But becoming OCD with them, obsessive, and your entire religiosity is oriented around where Dajjal is right now, like his GPS location, and who Ya'juj Ma'juj are in terms of their nationality, and they're Chinese people apparently, and so much for CPEC, right? That's crazy. And that when that becomes the religion, when that's all there is to someone's religiosity, is an obsession with the signs of the end of times, that's an escape. That's a fatalism. That's someone who is incredibly disappointed, despondent, hopeless, and thinks that nothing can be done about this ummah. We are in the end of times, and the Dajjal has taken over, and we're all done for. Rasulullah ﷺ said that when the hour is in front of you, it is upon you, and you are planting a tree, finish planting it. So, the Ya'juj Ma'juj may be all around us, fair enough. Dajjal may be all over. You plant your trees. Plant your trees. And if your obsession with these signs of the end of times is holding you back from planting your trees, then that's a serious problem. It's a defense. It's a defense mechanism. It is an escape. And it is putting on the garb of religious knowledge. Going into the nitty-gritty and then settling on firm opinions that what I am saying about Ya'juj Ma'juj is the final word on Ya'juj. Who the hell are you? Who made you Ya'juj Ma'juj? It doesn't work. There is scope of interpretation, and so people have their liberty and freedom that according to their own understandings and according to their own research, they come to conclusions. What will determine the truthfulness of a conclusion or interpretation is what practically comes out of them. What is of practical benefit to the individual and more largely to the society. As far as I'm concerned, I have no idea who they are. So that just gets translated as it is and we move on. وَاقْتَرَبَ الْوَعْدُ الْحَقِّ. And the true promise is at hand. فَإِذَا هِيَ شَاخِصَةٌ أَبْصَارُ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. Then all of a sudden the eyes of the disbelievers will be staring. يَا وَيْلَنَا. And they'll say, we are damned. قَدْ كُنَّا فِي غَفْلَةٍ مِّنْ هَذَا. We had completely been heedless of this. بَلْ كُنَّا ظَالِمِينَ. No, but we were unjust. إِنَّكُمْ وَمَا تَعْبُدُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ. For sure, you and all the idols which you worship besides Allah will become حَسَبُ جَهَنَّمْ. Fuel for the fire. أَنْتُمْ لَهَا وَارِدُونَ. And you will be coming to it. لو كان هؤلاء آلهة. Had they really been gods, ما وردوها. They would not have come to it. وكل فيها خالدون. And each one of them will remain in it forever. لهم فيها زفير. For them there is moaning, sobbing, crying. وهم فيها لا يسمعون. And they will not be able to hear. إن الذين سبقت لهم منا الحسنى. Those to whom a word of favor has already been issued from us. أولئك عنها مبعدون. They will be kept far away from it. لا يسمعون حسيسها. They will not even hear the slightest sound of it. وهم فيما اشتهت أنفسهم خالدون. And they will live in the midst of their desires. Whatever it is that they've always wanted, they will be in the midst, they will be drowned in them, swimming in them. لا يحزنهم الفزع الأكبر. Even the supreme fearful event, the greatest terror, will not upset them. وتتلقاهم الملائكة. And the angels will meet them. هذا يومكم الذي كنتم توعدون. This is your day, the day you were promised. يوم نطوي السماء كطي السجل للكتب. The day we will roll up the heavens, the like written scrolls are folded up. And there is meaning in this symbology, that there was within this heavens a destiny that was written, and then blanks that were left in for the human beings to fill out. And now what the story has finished, and all authors have contributed their contributions, and all that had to be written has now been written. Now it is being rolled up. Now we see, now it's going to be published to see what comes out of it. كَمَا بَدَأْنَا أَوَّلَ خَلْقٍ نُعِيدُ. As we began the first creation, we will repeat it. The bang and the crunch. So this is apparently another crunch, and then perhaps there's going to be another bang. وَعَدًا عَلَيْنَا. Promise binding upon us. إِنَّا كُنَّا فَاعِلِينَ. For sure, we will do it. وَلَقَدْ كَتَبْنَا فِي الزَّبُورِ مِن بَعْدِ الذِّكْرِ. And we have already written it in the Zabur, in the Psalms, after the previous mention, i.e., in the Torah. Torah came first, then came the Zabur. أَنَّ الْأَرْضَ يَرِثُهَا عِبَادِيَ الصَّالِحُونَ. That the land will be inherited by my righteous ibad in this world and the hereafter. إِنَّ فِي هَذَا لَبَلَاغًا لِقَوْمٍ عَابِدِينَ. And that is the message for the people who are abidin. That's how they should measure their efforts. Are they going in that direction? Is their ibadah carrying them towards that? وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. We have not sent you but as a mercy to the whole world. And that mercy is yet to realize itself globally. And until that happens, we are responsible. قُلْ إِنَّمَا يُوحَى إِلَيَّ أَنَّمَا إِلَهُكُمْ إِلَهٌ وَاحِدٌ. And to announce to them clearly that it is revealed to me that your ilah is one God. فَهَلْ أَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ. Are you going to submit? فَإِن تَوَلَّوْا. But if they turn away, فَقُلْ آذَنْتُكُمْ عَلَى سَوَاءٍ. Then say, I have warned all of you equally. وَإِنْ أَدْرِيَ قَرِيبٌ أَمْ بَعِيدٌ مَا تُوعَدُونَ. I don't know whether the punishment you are being promised is close or far off. إِنَّهُ يَعْلَمُ الْجَهْرَ مِنَ الْقَوْلِ وَيَعْلَمُ مَا تَكْتُمُونَ. Definitely Allah knows what is declared, what is open, what is public of speech, and He knows what you conceal. وَإِنْ أَدْرِي لَعَلَّهُ فِتْنَةٌ لَكُمْ. And I don't know. This may be a trial for you, that you are being given more time. وَمَتَاعٌ إِلَى حِينٍ. And a comfort for some time. قَالَ رَبِّ احْكُمْ بِالْحَقِّ. He said, my Rabb, decide with justice. وَرَبُّنَا الرَّحْمَنُ الْمُسْتَعَانُ عَلَى مَا تَصِفُونَ. And our Rabb is compassionate, Ar-Rahman, whose help is sought against all of what you decide. So there are indications in more than one place, here and in Ma'arij, we will see that as well, that the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there came times, fleeting moments, later on in the Meccan time period, that he'd had it, that he just wanted for it to be decided. And these words are his that are being quoted here. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that time too will come. Moving right along to Surah Al-Hajj. All the surahs that we've done so far, for for a long time now, we haven't come across a Madani surah. For the most part, they belong to the last third of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's time at Mecca. Some of them belong to the middle, like Surah Maryam. Definitely some parts of Surah Maryam. Surah Taha, because we know we have seerah references to them from the middle of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam's time at Mecca, with respect to Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, Ja'far's interaction with the Abyssinians, as to how they turned about. So apart from those, most of the surahs were from the the last part of the Meccan time period. This surah is disagreed upon. Madani, Makki, some parts Madani, some parts Makki. There is that disagreement. A lot of the ayat seem to have a lot of resemblance with Surah Al-Baqarah, that the theme seems to be very consistent with what we saw in Baqarah. And so this may be an illusion that this was after migration. Some ayat, as are said, were revealed during migration, during the process of migration, so they're not exactly Makki, not exactly Madani, somewhere in between. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ya ayyuhan nas, people of the world, ittaqu rabbakum, observe the taqwa of your Rabb. Inna zalzalat as-sa'ati shay'un azim. For sure, the catastrophic earthquake of the hour is going to be an awesome event. Yawma tarawnaha, the day you will see it. Tadhalu kullu murdi'atin amma ardat. Every nursing mother will forget her suckling baby that she is most dedicated to instinctively. Her instincts will be overridden by the catastrophe of the event that she will see. وَتَضَعُ كُلُّ ذَاتِ حَمْلٍ حَمْلَهَا. Every pregnant woman will miscarry her burden. وَتَرَى النَّاسَ سُكَارًا. You will see people as if they are drunk. They are knocked out of their senses. وَمَا هُمْ بِسُكَارَى. But they are not drunk. وَلَكِنَّ عَذَابَ اللَّهِ الشَّدِيدِ. But in fact, the punishment of Allah is severe. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يُجَادِلُ فِي اللَّهِ. Yet there are people who dispute about Allah بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ, without any knowledge. There is ilm as defined within the Qur'an, as to where it comes from, how it is sound, how it is verified, how it is authentic. But then there is just throwing things out there. I think. Who the hell are you? Where did you come from? But on ilm that is verified, that is authentic, that is to be considered as veritable knowledge, if there is something coming from there, yeah, that discussion you can get something out of. But a rejection outrightly because you feel like it, وَيَتَّبِعُ كُلَّ شَيْطَانٍ مَرِيدٍ. And they follow every rebellious devil. As far as their character is concerned, their biography is concerned, you will see within it a manifestation of utmost wickedness and evil by any standards of morality that you want to pick up. كُتِبَ عَلَيْهِ أَنَّهُ مَنْ تَوَلَّاهُ. It has been decreed that whoever takes him as a friend, as a protector, فَأَنَّهُ يُضِلُّهُ, that he will definitely mislead him. Shaitan doesn't have friends. He just deceives people into thinking that that's the case, and he misleads them. He couldn't stand any relationship. He's the breaker of all relationships. He will not stand anyone relating with him. وَيَهْدِيهِ إِلَىٰ إِذَابِ السَّعِيرِ. And he will guide him to the punishment of the burning fire. يَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسُ, O people, إِن كُنْتُمْ فِي رَيْبٍ مِّنَ الْبَعْثِ. If you are in doubt about life after death, فَإِنَّا خَلَقْنَاكُم مِّن تُرَابٍ. Then we created you from dust. ثُمَّ مِن نُطْفَةٍ. Then from a sperm drop. ثُمَّ مِن عَلَقَةٍ. Then from a leech-like suspended object. ثُمَّ مِن مُضْغَةٍ مُخَلَّقَةٍ وَغَيْرِ مُخَلَّقَةٍ. Then from flesh formed and unformed. لِنُبَيِّنَ لَكُمْ. In order to show you. وَنُقِرُّ فِي الْأَرْحَامِ مَا نَشَاءُ. And we settle in the wombs whom we will. إِلَىٰ أَجَلٍ مُسَمًّى, till an appointed time. ثُمَّ نُخْرِجُكُمْ طِفْلًا. Then we bring you out as infants. ثُمَّ لِتَبْلُغُوا أَشُدَّكُمْ. Then allow you to attain your full strength. وَمِنْكُمْ مَنْ يُتَوَفَّى. But some of you die. وَمِنْكُمْ مَنْ يُرَدُّ إِلَىٰ أَرْضَ الْعُمْرِ. And others are brought to the worst part of the age. لِكَيْ لَا يَعْلَمَ مِنْ بَعْدِ عِلْمٍ شَيْئًا. So that they know nothing after having knowledge. Utterly demented. That they can't even recognize their own children. That stage of life is also in front of you to pay heed to. Why? So you learn a lesson. You don't have an infinite time. That even death is not the only deadline you have. You may not have the faculties that you have right now in order to be understanding and doing of what you're supposed to do. وَتَرَى الْأَرْضَ هَامِدًا. You find the earth barren. فَإِذَا أَنزَلَ عَلَيْهِ الْمَاءَ. So then we pour rainwater on it. اهْتَزَّتْ وَرَبَتْ. Then it begins to stir and swell. وَأَنْبَتَتْ مِنْ كُلِّ زَوْجٍ بَهِيجٍ. And grow something of beautiful species. ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّ اللَّهَ هُوَ الْحَقِّ. That is because Allah is the truth. That the most consistent explanation of what you see in the universe around you is Allah. And that's how everything falls in place. وَأَنَّهُ يُحْيِي الْمَوْتَى. And He gives life to the dead. in terms of akhirah, in terms of the world around you, the crop that you see, the plants that you see, the biological life that you see, and then within your spiritual world, there is death, but then the ayat of Allah rain down upon that, and there is a potential for that to give life. وَأَنَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ, and that He is able to do everything. وَأَنَّ السَّاعَةَ آتِيَةٌ, and so the last hour is coming. لَا رَيْبَ فِيهَا, there is no doubt about it. وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ يَبْعَثُ مَنْ فِي الْقُبُورِ, and Allah will raise all those in the graves to life. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يُجَادِلُ فِي اللَّهِ, yet of the people are those who argue about Allah بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ وَلَا هُدًى وَلَا كِتَابٍ مُنِيرٍ, without any knowledge, any guidance, or any luminous book. So any of the sources of knowledge that they can possibly be, they don't use any of them. Any reflective capacity, anything that comes from your senses, any revelation. ثَانِي عِطْفِهِ, twisting his neck in arrogance against any sound knowledge that is being actually given in support of what Allah is saying. That is arrogantly responded to. But your claims, you have no evidence for, no sound acknowledgement for. لِيُضِلَّ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ, in order to misguide people from the way of Allah. لَهُ فِي الدُّنْيَا خِزْيٌ, for such a person is humiliation in this world. وَنُذِيقُهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ عَذَابَ الْحَرِيقِ, and we will make him taste the punishment of burning fire on the day of judgment. ذَلِكَ بِمَا قَدَّمَتْ يَدَاكَ, he will be told, this is for what your hands have sent forward. وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ لَيْسَ بِالظَّلَّامٍ لِلْعَبِيدِ, and rest assured that Allah is not unjust to His ibad. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَعْبُدُ اللَّهَ عَلَى حَرْفٍ, and of mankind are those who adopt a marginal ibadah of Allah. They worship Allah or enter into His obedience on the borderline. فَإِنْ أَصَابَهُ خَيْرٌ اطْمَأَنَّ بِهِ, when they're given good, when good comes from worship, good comes from following Allah, Islam, whatever, they do it. وَإِنْ أَصَابَتْهُمُ الْفِتْنَةُ, but if trial befalls them, if it's difficult, if it's painful, if there's some sacrifice or suffering involved, انقلب على وجهه, the person turns on their face. خسر الدنيا والآخرة, he's lost both this world and the hereafter. ذلك هو الخسران المبين, that is the clear-cut loss. At least you could have been, by being completely evil, at least enjoyed something here, at least have some kind of party. You lost that, and you didn't really go all the way on the other side as you were supposed to. It became picking and choosing. Islam is a cherry picking. Whatever is benefit, whatever is convenient, whatever is good for me. What's in it for me? I just want what's in it for me. And so be it. ذَلِكَ هُوَ الْخُسْرَانُ الْمُبِينُ, that is the clear-cut loss. يَدْعُو مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ, he invokes besides Allah مَا لَا يَضُرُّهُ وَمَا لَا يَنْفَعُهُ, who neither harms nor benefits him. Any person who has that attitude, he may say he's worshipping Allah, but it's actually your own desires that have become the ultimate standard. There is nothing wrong in someone saying that what's in it for me, comma, and what else can I do for someone else? But if there's a full stop, that's a problem. ذَلِكَ هُوَ الضَّلَالُ الْبَعِيدُ, that's the extreme misguidance. يَدْعُو لَمَنْ ضَرُّهُ أَقْرَبُ مِنْ نَفْعِهِ, he invokes someone whose harm is definitely more likely than his benefit. لَبِئْسَ الْمَوْلَى وَلَبِئْسَ الْعَشِيرُ, what an evil protector and what an evil companion. Sounds like shaitan. إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُدْخِلُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, Allah will definitely admit those who believed and performed righteously, جَنَّاتٍ تَجْرِي مِنْ تَحْتِهَا الْأَنْهَارُ, into gardens beneath which rivers flow. That's what's in it for you. But before, it has to be a more concerted, consistent effort. إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَفْعَلُ مَا يُرِيدُ, Allah does whatever He wants. مَنْ كَانَ يَظُنُّ أَلَّا يَنْصُرَهُ اللَّهُ, whoever assumes that Allah will not help him, فِي الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةِ, in this world and in the hereafter, فَلْيَمْدُدْ, so someone effort, no fruits, nothing, this strategy, that strategy, ultimately thinks, you know what, there's nothing going. Forget it, I'm not doing this. I don't want to do this. Allah says, fair enough. فَلْيَمْدُدْ بِسَبَبٍ إِلَى السَّمَاءِ ثُمَّ لِيَقْطَعْ, then he should extend out a rope to the heaven, then cut it. That you were doing all of this for Allah to get closer to Him, and to have that in the world around you, but you don't see the fruits of it, and you decide to give up altogether. Cut that rope, see if there's anywhere else for you to go. فَلْيَنْظُرْ هَلْ يُذْهِبَنَّ كَيْدُهُ مَا يَغِيظُ, then let him see if this plan relieves him of his frustration. وَكَذَلِكَ أَنزَلْنَاهُ آيَاتٍ بَيِّنَاتٍ, and thus have we sent clear ayat to you. وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ يَهْدِي مَنْ يُرِيدُ, and Allah wants whomever He wants. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَالَّذِينَ هَادُوا وَالصَّابِئِينَ وَالنَّصَارَى وَالْمَجُوسَ وَالَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا, definitely the Muslim Jews, Sabians, Christians and Magians and Arab pagans should all know, إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَفْصِلُ بَيْنَهُم يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ, Allah will decide between all of them on the day of judgment. إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ شَهِيدٌ, and Allah is definitely a witness over everything. أَلَمْ تَرَ أَنَّ اللَّهَ يَسْجُدُ لَهُ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ. Don't you see that all those are in the heaven and all those on the earth are definitely prostrating before Allah alone? وَالشَّمْسُ وَالْقَمَرُ وَالنُّجُومُ وَالْجِبَالُ وَالشَّجَرُ وَالدَّوَابُ وَكَثِيرٌ مِّنَ النَّاسِ. And the sun and the moon and the stars and the mountains and trees and animals, including a large number of human beings. وَكَثِيرٌ حَقَّ عَلَيْهِ الْعَذَابُ. While there's the many of human beings who deserve the punishment. وَمَن يُهِنِ اللَّهُ فَمَا لَهُ مِن مُكْرِمٍ. And whoever Allah humiliates, there will be none to honor him. إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَفْعَلُ مَا يَشَاءُ. Allah does whatever He wants. And this is an ayah of sajda. هَذَانِ خَصْمَانِ. These are two opponents, believers, disbelievers. اخْتَصَمُوا فِي رَبِّهِمْ, who disputed concerning their Rabb. فَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا قُطِّعَتْ لَهُمْ ثِيَابٌ مِّنَ النَّارِ. As for the disbelievers, they will have garments of fire cut out for them. يُصَبُّ مِنْ فَوْقِ رُؤُوسِهِمُ الْحَمِيمُ. And boiling liquid will be poured down over their heads. يُصْهَرُ بِهِ مَا فِي بُطُونِهِمْ وَالْجُلُودِ. It will melt all that is in their bellies and skins. So it goes straight in. وَلَهُمْ مَقَامِعُ مِنْ حَدِيدٍ. And for them are iron rods. And whatever those iron rods are going to be used for is left to your imagination. كُلَّمَا أَرَادُوا أَن يَخْرُجُوا مِنْهَا مِنْ غَمٍّ. And whenever they want to get out of that distress, that pain, أُعِيدُوا فِيهَا, they will be forced back into it. وَذُوقُوا عَذَابَ الْحَرِيقِ. And it will be said, taste the punishment of the burning fire. وَآخِرُ دَعْوَانًا الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ.
الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. أولم يرى الذين كفروا أن السماوات والأرض كانتا رتقا ففتقناهما وجعلنا من الماء كل شيء حي أفلا يؤمنون وجعلنا في الأرض رواسي أن تميد بهم وجعلنا فيها فجاجا سبلا لعلهم يهتدون وجعلنا السماء سقفا محفوظا وهم عن آياتها معرضون وهو الذي خلق الليل والنهار والشمس والقمر كل في فلك يسبحون وما جعلنا لبشر من قبلك الخلد أفإن مت فهم الخالدون كل نفس ذائقة الموت ونبلوكم بالشر والخير فتنة وإلينا ترجعون وإذا رآك الذين كفروا إن يتخذونك إلا هزوا أهذا الذي يذكر آلهتكم وهم بذكر الرحمن هم كافرون خلق الإنسان من عجل سأريكم آياتي فلا تستعجلون ويقولون متى هذا الوعد إن كنتم صادقين لو يعلم الذين كفروا حين لا يكفون عن وجوههم النار ولا عن ظهورهم ولا هم ينصرون بل تأتيهم بغتة فتبهتهم فلا يستطيعون ردها ولا هم ينظرون ولقد استهزئ برسل من قبلك فحاق بالذين سخروا منهم ما كانوا به يستهزئون قل من يكلأكم بالليل والنهار من الرحمن بل هم عن ذكر ربهم معرضون أم لهم آلهة تمنعهم من دوننا لا يستطيعون نصر أنفسهم ولا هم منا يصحبون بل متعنا هؤلاء وآباءهم حتى طال عليهم العمر أفلا يرون أنا نأتي الأرض ننقصها من أطرافها أفهم الغالبون قل إنما أنذركم بالوحي ولا يسمع الصم الدعاء إذا ما ينظرون ولئن مستهم نفحة من عذاب ربك ليقولن يا ويلنا إنا كنا ظالمين ونضع الموازين القسط ليوم القيامة فلا تظلم نفس شيئا وإن كان مثقال حبة من خردل أتينا بها وكفى بنا حاسبين ولقد آتينا موسى وهارون الفرقان وضياء وذكرا للمتقين الذين يخشون ربهم بالغيب وهم من الساعة مشفقون وهذا ذكر مبارك أنزلناه أفأنتم له منكرون ولقد آتينا إبراهيم رشده من قبل وكنا به عالمين إذ قال لأبيه وقومه ما هذه التماثيل التي أنتم لها عاكفون قالوا وجدنا آباءنا لها عابدين قال لقد كنتم أنتم وآباؤكم في ضلال مبين قالوا أجئتنا بالحق أم أنت من اللاعبين قال بل ربكم رب السماوات والأرض الذي فطرهن وأنا على ذلكم من الشاهدين وتالله لأكيدن أصنامكم بعد أن تولوا مدبرين فجعلهم جذاذا إلا كبيرا لهم لعلهم إليه يرجعون قالوا من فعل هذا بآلهتنا إنه لمن الظالمين قالوا سمعنا فتى يذكرهم يقال له إبراهيم قالوا فأتوا به على أعين الناس لعلهم يشهدون قالوا أأنت فعلت هذا بآلهتنا يا إبراهيم قال بل فعله كبيرهم هذا فاسألوهم إن كانوا ينطقون فرجعوا إلى أنفسهم فقالوا إنكم أنتم الظالمون ثم نكسوا على رؤوسهم لقد علمت ما هؤلاء ينطقون قال أفتعبدون من دون الله ما لا ينفعكم شيئا ولا يضركم أف لكم ولما تعبدون من دون الله أفلا تعقلون قالوا حرقوه وانصروا آلهتكم إن كنتم فاعلين قلنا يا نار كوني بردا وسلاما على إبراهيم وأرادوا به كيدا فجعلناهم الأخسرين ونجيناه ولوطا إلى الأرض التي باركنا فيها للعالمين ووهبنا له إسحاق ويعقوب نافلة وكلا جعلنا صالحين وجعلناهم أئمة يهدون بأمرنا وأوحينا إليهم فعل الخيرات وإقام الصلاة وإيتاء الزكاة وكانوا لنا عابدين ولوطا آتيناه حكما وعلما ونجيناه من القرية التي كانت تعمل الخبائث إنهم كانوا قوم سوء فاسقين وأدخلناه في رحمتنا إنه من الصالحين. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. ونوحا إذ نادى من قبل فاستجبنا له فنجيناه وأهله من الكرب العظيم ونصرناه من القوم الذين كذبوا بآياتنا إنهم كانوا قوم سوء فأغرقناهم أجمعين. وداود وسليمان إذ يحكمان في الحرث إذ نفشت فيه غنم القوم وكنا لحكمهم شاهدين ففهمناها سليمان وكلا آتينا حكما وعلما وسخرنا مع داود الجبال يسبحن والطير وكنا فاعلين وعلمناه صنعة لبوس لكم لتحصنكم من بأسكم فهل أنتم شاكرون. ولسليمان الريح عاصفة تجري بأمره إلى الأرض التي باركنا فيها وكنا بكل شيء عالمين. ومن الشياطين من يغوصون له ويعملون عملا دون ذلك وكنا لهم حافظين. وأيوب إذ نادى ربه أني مسني الضر وأنت أرحم الراحمين فاستجبنا له فكشفنا ما به من ضر وآتيناه أهله ومثلهم معهم رحمة من عندنا وذكرى للعابدين. وإسماعيل وإدريس وذا الكفل كل من الصابرين وأدخلناهم في رحمتنا إنهم من الصالحين. وذا النون إذ ذهب مغاضبا فظن أن لن نقدر عليه فنادى في الظلمات أن لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. وذا النون إذ ذهب مغاضبا فظن أن لن نقدر عليه فنادى في الظلمات أن لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. فاستجبنا له ونجيناه من الغم وكذلك ننجي المؤمنين. وزكريا إذ نادى ربه رب لا تذرني فردا وأنت خير الوارثين. فاستجبنا له ووهبنا له يحيى وأصلحنا له زوجه إنهم كانوا يسارعون في الخيرات ويدعوننا رغبا ورهبا وكانوا لنا خاشعين. والتي أحصنت فرجها فنفخنا فيها من روحنا وجعلناها وابنها آية للعالمين. إن هذه أمتكم أمة واحدة وأنا ربكم فاعبدون. وتقطعوا أمرهم بينهم كل إلينا راجعون. فمن يعمل من الصالحات وهو مؤمن فلا كفران لسعيه وإنا له كاتبون. وحرام على قرية أهلكناها أنهم لا يرجعون حتى إذا فتحت يأجوج ومأجوج وهم من كل حدب ينسلون. واقترب الوعد الحق فإذا هي شاخصة أبصار الذين كفروا يا ويلنا قد كنا في غفلة من هذا بل كنا ظالمين. إنكم وما تعبدون من دون الله حصب جهنم أنتم لها واردون. لو كان هؤلاء آلهة ما وردوها وكل فيها خالدون. لهم فيها زفير وهم فيها لا يسمعون. إن الذين سبقت لهم منا الحسنى أولئك عنها مبعدون. لا يسمعون حسيسها وهم فيما اشتهت أنفسهم خالدون. لا يحزنهم الفزع الأكبر وتتلقاهم الملائكة هذا يومكم الذي كنتم توعدون. يوم نطوي السماء كطي السجل للكتب كما بدأنا أول خلق نعيده وعدا علينا إنا كنا فاعلين. ولقد كتبنا في الزبور من بعد الذكر أن الأرض يرثها عبادي الصالحون. إن في هذا لبلاغا لقوم عابدين. وما أرسلناك إلا رحمة للعالمين. قل إنما يوحى إلي أنما إلهكم إله واحد فهل أنتم مسلمون. فإن تولوا فقل آذنتكم على سواء وإن أدري قريب ما توعدون. إنه يعلم الجهر من القول ويعلم ما تكتمون. وإن أدري لعله فتنة لكم ومتاع إلى حين. قال رب احكم بالحق وربنا الرحمن المستعان على ما تصفون. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. दूसरी रकात में सजदा तिलावत करेंगे। जमशेद साहब कॉलर माइक का वॉल्यूम थोड़ा हाई करें। अल्लाहु अकबर। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन अर्रहमानिर रहीम मालिक यौमिद्दीन इय्याक नअबुदु व इय्याक नस्तईन इहदिनस सिरातल मुस्तकीम सिरातल लज़ीना अनअमत अलैहिम गैरिल मग़दूबि अलैहिम वलद्दाल्लीन। आमीन। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। या अय्युहन नास इत्तक़ू रब्बकुम इन्न ज़लज़लतस साअति शैउन अज़ीम यौम तरौनहा तज़हलु कुल्लु मुर्दिअतिन अम्मा अर्दअत व तज़अु कुल्लु ज़ाति हम्लिन हम्लहा व तरन नास सुकारा व मा हुम बिसुकारा वलाकिन्न अज़ाबल्लाहि शदीद व मिनन नासि मन युजादिलु फिल्लाहि बिगैरि इल्मिन व यत्तबिअु कुल्ल शैतानिन मरीद كتب عليه أنه من تولاه فأنه يضله ويهديه إلى عذاب السعير. يا أيها الناس إن كنتم في ريب من البعث فإنا خلقناكم من تراب ثم من نطفة ثم من علقة ثم من مضغة مخلقة وغير مخلقة لنبين لكم ونقر في الأرحام ما نشاء إلى أجل مسمى ثم نخرجكم طفلا ثم لتبلغوا أشدكم ومنكم من يتوفى ومنكم من يرد إلى أرذل العمر لكي لا يعلم من بعد علم شيئا وترى الأرض هامدة فإذا أنزلنا عليها الماء اهتزت وربت وأنبتت من كل زوج بهيج ذلك بأن الله هو الحق وأنه يحيي الموتى وأنه على كل شيء قدير وأن الساعة آتية لا ريب فيها وأن الله يبعث من في القبور ومن الناس من يجادل في الله بغير علم ولا هدى ولا كتاب منير ثاني عطفه ليضل عن سبيل الله له في الدنيا خزي ونذيقه يوم القيامة عذاب الحريق ذلك بما قدمت يداك وأن الله ليس بظلام للعبيد ومن الناس من يعبد الله على حرف فإن أصابه خير اطمأن به وإن أصابته فتنة انقلب على وجهه خسر الدنيا والآخرة ذلك هو الخسران المبين يدعو من دون الله ما لا يضره وما لا ينفعه ذلك هو الضلال البعيد يدعو لمن ضره أقرب من نفعه لبئس المولى ولبئس العشير إن الله يدخل الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار إن الله يفعل ما يريد من كان يظن أن لن ينصره الله في الدنيا والآخرة فليمدد بسبب إلى السماء ثم ليقطع فلينظر هل يذهبن كيده ما يغيظ وكذلك أنزلناه آيات بينات وأن الله يهدي من يريد الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين إن الذين آمنوا والذين هادوا والصابئين والنصارى والمجوس والذين أشركوا إن الله يفصل بينهم يوم القيامة إن إن الله على كل شيء شهيد ألم تر أن الله يسجد له من في السماوات ومن في الأرض والشمس والقمر والنجوم والجبال والشجر والدواب وكثير حق عليه العذاب ومن يهن الله فما له من مكرم إن الله يفعل ما يشاء. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. هذان خصمان اختصموا في ربهم فالذين كفروا قطعت لهم ثياب من نار يصب من فوق رؤوسهم الحميم يسهر به ما في بطونهم والجلود ولهم مقامع من حديد كلما أرادوا أن يخرجوا منها من غم أعيدوا فيها وذوقوا عذاب الحريق. إن الله يدخل الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار يحلون فيها من أساور من ذهب ولؤلؤا ولباسهم فيها حرير وهدوا إلى الطيب من القول وهدوا إلى صراط الحميد. إن الذين كفروا ويصدون عن سبيل الله والمسجد الحرام الذي جعلناه للناس سواء العاكف فيه والباد ومن يرد فيه بإلحاد بظلم نذقه من عذاب أليم. وإذ بوأنا لإبراهيم مكان البيت ألا تشرك بي شيئا وطهر بيتي للطائفين والقائمين والركع السجود وأذن في الناس بالحج يأتوك رجالا وعلى كل ضامر يأتين من كل فج عميق ليشهدوا منافع لهم ويذكروا اسم الله في أيام معلومات على ما رزقهم من بهيمة الأنعام فكلوا منها وأطعموا البائس الفقير ثم ليقضوا تفثهم وليوفوا نذورهم وليطوفوا بالبيت العتيق ذلك ومن يعظم حرمات الله فهو خير له عند ربه. وأحلت لكم الأنعام إلا ما يتلى عليكم فاجتنبوا الرجس من الأوثان واجتنبوا قول الزور حنفاء لله غير مشركين به ومن يشرك بالله فكأنما خر من السماء فتخطفه الطير أو تهوي به الريح في مكان سحيق ذلك ومن يعظم شعائر الله فإنها من تقوى القلوب. لكم فيها منافع إلى أجل مسمى ثم محلها إلى البيت العتيق. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله